Hello, YouTube. Sorry, I'm a little bit later than normal. I hardly ever start on time, but come home to a house with no power, so I've been running around. I had to hook up this room to my solar battery system, and get everything wired up, and blah blah blah. And anyway, so finally got it done. So here we are. I got a Coda Boy and Blue 823 here, and I'm gonna let them do an intro. Go right ahead, Coda Boy 32.
Well, hey, TR, man, thank you very much for having me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it, man. It's always a privilege to be invited to such an awesome panel. Most of the cases I'm usually on the road at 4 a.m. on Monday morning, so I'm having to listen to you guys on the way up the interstate, but it's a joy to be with you tonight. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for being on, man. I appreciate it. Blue, would you like to say anything, man?
Well, I don't know how long I will be on the air. I've got storms moving through the area. We're supposed to get 3 inches of rain here within the next hour and a half. So I might get my boat out and do a live stream and going down the stream. But great panel as always. Good to see everybody out in the chat room. I'm sure once people see it's live, they'll start picking up a little bit. But other than that, ready to get rolling.
I hear you. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking. This Duke Power.
Say no more.
Now, I thought that you already had that room that you're in. I thought you had that pre-wired, that was your go-to for your solar.
During the summer it is, but in the wintertime I get so little sunlight that it just kills the system. And it'll cost me more electricity to try to do that because of that charger, the built-in charger in my inverter. That son of a bitch will run probably every 3 days. So.
Oh, speaking of which, I asked a couple of my good old electrician buddies. I played that stuff back that Comms had last week, and they were all. And you have to understand, man, that's what I deal with is DC power plants, DC AC, and doing data centers. And they were like, plug it in, man. He's got that thing way over engineered. But what I deal with is I just finished up a project where we did two 10,000 amp DC power plants. And you want to talk about a stream of batteries, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So every time you guys start talking about the battery stuff, I'm like, oh man, y'all get a kick out of what I got to see every day.
You're not privy to be able to make videos of that stuff, though, are you?
I can send you some private stuff. I just can't do it over the internet. It's probably not a good thing, but we've got generators that run a 40-story building. Man, it's just stupid, and it's a utility from their standpoint what they do. So, one of my buildings is a PV1, and it's a pretty incredible operation. But the batteries that they have in that building, especially the one I just installed. One in downtown Philadelphia. That's where I was when I guess about 2 years ago. It's ridiculous, but a lot of fun.
No, what's fucking them up? A tech probably drove up the driveway a little bit and seen the light on in this window, and it's probably because I keep getting texts. Are you sure your power's out? Type this. And it come back again. Type Y for yes. Like I can get. There we are again. Okay.
Somebody's at 401 North Broad. I did a facade project at 401 North Broad. If Pregnant to Endure knows what I'm talking about. One of the guys made a comment about one of the VZ buildings up there, and that's my client.
TR, this power problem seems like it's just going to be an issue.
Pain in my ass. Well, I'll tell the story now. We're live or whatever. It was just out Wednesday. Been out all day long. Got home dark. You know, we got home about 9 o'clock or something like that. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Power's out. So I called Duke Power, the little number thing, power on or whatever. I'm the only one that reported a power outage. I said, oh shit, it's night, it's raining, been raining. I got underground service, so I assumed that something shorted out. Guy shows up about midnight. We go traipsing through the woods, checking the transformer and all that. And anyway, it is tapped off a neighbor's pole, but it goes straight to the ground and underground from there to my house through the woods. And he come back, my power came back on a few minutes later, and he came back up and told me a squirrel had went from one line to the other and shorted the line out, and it blew the fuses at the pole.
Jesus.
So I'm wondering if another squirrel went up the pole, because I'm the only one in the area that's reported a power outage.
Well, hopefully,
you're the only one with lights right now.
Hopefully it's a power company issue and not something that you're going to have to end up paying for.
Oh, it ain't. No, I ain't got no power coming in the house. I didn't check that. All I'm responsible for is from the meter to my house. Everything else is theirs. Believe it or not, the guy even asked me because he was afraid the transformer was bad. And he was like, it's a big green box. And for some reason, they stuck it up in the damn woods. And he's like, well, if you want them to, if the transformer's bad, do you want them to come and change it tonight? And I was like, damn, dude. I mean, it was almost 1 o'clock by then. And I was like, much as I want my power, I don't really want somebody up here in the middle of the night, call somebody to come up here in the middle of the night and try to do this shit in the woods, It's like, well, they'll do it. And I was like, well, I got the day off tomorrow. If it's the transformer, just be here in the morning. How about that?
What's the temperature down there right now, TR?
What is it? I don't know. It got a pretty hot today. It was supposed to rain. It never did. Right now it's 82 degrees. In my house as well.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that'd be my only thing. To get your ass out here and fix my power, brother. I gotta have my AC. Jesus. Have y'all seen those buckets you can fill and with the solar powered fans and do the evaporator coils inside of them for room? You can lower your room temperature down. You got to have one of those in there blowing, TR.
Yeah, I could see how that would help. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. Well, hey man, sorry, there's just too many of me to individually say hello right now. I usually have already done it ahead of time. So, hello everybody.
Well, who was it? It was Zeus was asking about the favorite bolt action. Was that you, Zeus? And a couple other folks were talking about it. And I know we're going to start. Hey, speaking of which, TR, have you ever the Safari Land paddle holster for the CZ75 will fit your gun perfect?
Really?
Yeah.
I forget what brand it was now. I found it. Actually, it came from Europe. It's a Falcon, inside the waistband holster.
Mm-hmm.
For CZ, and it's made where you can tuck your shirt in too. And it actually worked pretty good. It was very comfortable. I wore it a good bit. The only bad thing about it is, which I could fix if I wanted to, is the magazine release. This thing is sharp on the edges. I mean, it's not sharp to cut you, but it's pretty pronounced. And that holster don't cover that up, and I feel that digging in my back.
Well, one of the things on my C100, I ordered a holster from Better Holsters. It was the Kydex for that gun, and the trigger guard on the CZ is a little wider than it is on the mechanic C100. So I'm going to get my hair dryer out and see if I can warm that thing up and get it to mold on there. But hoping I'll ruin it. But hey, I got nothing to lose,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, with that holster, it just don't cover that mag release, and like I could either take it out and cut that edge off, just stone it a little bit, or add a little piece of leather to it myself to cover that up. One of the two. But I carry the Glock now, so.
It's always nice to have a holster for it, though.
Oh yeah.
Look into it. Yeah. Well, I watched this real helpful video that Big Johnson did a while back about sizing and form fitting the Kydex holster. So I'm going to take his word for it and give it a shot. We'll see how it happens. If it doesn't come out okay, I'm going to put out a real bad video on him.
Yeah, when I was looking into the Kydex, I seen where you could, like I say, adjust it for your gun or make it fit tighter or looser or whatever you wanted. Good stuff to work with. And what little bit I have played with them, I like the Kydex. I'm not inside the waistband. I prefer leather, but that's just a personal preference.
Well, the Antifa crowd is here. The anti-Antifa. I see Rich is here. Pops is here. Those crazy guys. They demonetized my teddy bear video today.
Just rename it.
I just took it down. I was just like, that's just silly, man. I'm not going to bother with it. But I had my brother actually call me. He goes, dude, point blank range to a teddy bear? Are you nuts?
Okay. Yeah, we're getting a pretty good crowd out there. When you mentioned earlier before we started about a race tonight, I was like, oh, hell, that might kill. I don't know how many people like to watch NASCAR. It might kill our damn chat. Nobody show up.
They're all in the house. The scab ugly.
Well, all you have to really do is just, you can watch your computer, you can listen to the feed. Just leave the NASCAR race up a little bit in the background just so you can hear it. And then whenever they start yelling, look up because nothing really changes up until that point.
The way I look at it, it's good napping material.
Yeah, a lot of people call it, what do they call it? Sleep cart? No, something else. I forget now anyway. But you hear that a lot. It's good for put you to sleep. I used to be into it, but last few years, I just kind of lost interest. I'll watch it every once in a while. NASCAR, there you go.
NASCAR.
I think I turned on, was it last week's race or the race before that? They're at one of the super speedways. And I just turned it on just to see who was in the lead. And they had that massive fucking pile up. So car did up into the wall, flipped onto his freaking roof. I was like, holy shit. I don't even know who races anymore.
My brothers always, and the people I deal with sometimes, I used to have to keep up with it. And I did a project in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And I told the guys, I said, I need my asphalt put in this week. And the company called Dean Rose and Sons was up there, and Dean walked up and says, John, I can't have my boys work this weekend. I said, why not? He goes, it's race weekend. And I'm like, my mouth was like, what? And it was the last race for Wilkesboro. They would all walked out on it if he made them work. But we come from race country, man. It's nuts down here.
I went to a patrol rifle instructor course that was put on by Safari Land. It was in Palmer Township, Pennsylvania. It's out east somewhere. And on the way there, freaking driving, I'm just following the GPS. I got another guy with me. And TR, if you were watching my Facebook, you should have seen it just yesterday or today. I posted it. Freaking driving along, and I freaking come up upon fucking Pocono Speedway. I'm like, holy shit! And I was like, there's Pocono. So I pulled up the lane to the Pocono Raceway, and I was like, holy, but they have a solar array out there at Pocono. That thing it's huge. I tried to get video of it as I drove by, but I couldn't get it. But took a couple pictures of the police car in front of the Pocono signs and stuff. And whenever I pulled up, the guy's like, "Hey, do you need to? Are you here for the ceremony, or are you here for whatever they had going on that day?" I'm like, "I don't know. What do they got going on?" And it just happened to be like a first responder or something where you get to drive into the track and do a bunch of shit. I wasn't thinking. I was like, "No, we're just passing through," and I wanted to stop and grab a couple pictures. He's like, "Well, you get a couple pictures and we got to kick you out." And I was like, "Damn it. If I should have been thinking on my toes, I could have got a free couple laps around Pocono."
Yeah, that might have worked out good for you.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking.
Excuse me.
Coda Boy's muted.
You have a message, sir.
I can mute you. I can't unmute you. Push the little button on your screen.
How's that?
There we go.
All right. Yeah, I've got my buddies over here. My son and Mel are out there watching Rogue One in the next room, and I turned it down a little bit, and I just kept the door open so I can make sure my wife's not going to holler at me too bad. And so unfortunately, I don't know if you guys can still hear that. I'll stay muted, but that's what that is. Might as well be got it right on the head. He goes, "Who's watching Star Wars?" That was funny.
Oh, how's y'all's weekend going?
So far, good. Went out to the farm today and was going to do some shooting after we got done eating, but then it just went to shit with snow blowing in, and shooting was out the door after that. But
Well, I worked this weekend, so
Double time. I hope.
it's just the way I work 12-hour shifts, so I work weekends normally, just every other weekend. But I get days off during the week. So it works out. I like it. I've gotten used to it. 12 hours is a long day, but I don't have to work more than 3 days in a row.
That's this week's.
oh, good.
Go ahead.
It's like,
Go ahead. This week's going to be a short week for us. My wife's going out of town on Friday. We originally hadn't planned it, but the guys told me, so we'd like to make up for the holiday if we're working on Friday. I was like, sure, not a problem. So I got to figure out how we're going to make sure they're covered. And I'm going to come home Thursday night like I normally do. And then my wife's heading out of town till Wednesday. So me and the kids are going to be having a blast together.
Well, that's cool.
I'll have them in the backyard doing CQB training. Put that on video. My wife will have a shit.
I got an update for anybody that's seen my Korean mag commercial or video. They did get in touch with me and say that aluminum mag that wouldn't drop free, that was a prototype for the Korean Army for their guns, for M16s, I guess. I was like, well, okay, good to know, I guess. Which they had told me before that they was sending me samples, prototypes, and shit like that. So, but if it won't fit mine, it ain't gonna fit an M6. I mean, if it won't drop free in mine, I don't think it'll drop free in the M16 either. Unless, well, they're probably making their own. They may be looser tolerances.
I've only ever had polymer ever not drop. Almost any aluminum that I've gotten, or the steel, the GI mags, they usually drop relatively. I mean, I don't think I've ever had an issue with that. That's why whenever you were sitting there trying and it wouldn't drop out, I'm like, oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a prototype. I mean, it's just snug enough that it drags. I could probably take some real fine sandpaper and just kind of sand that finish down. The finish is kind of thick. I can tell the finish is kind of thick. Probably just sand that down. It's aluminum. So it ain't going to rust or anything. And it'll probably drop free then. I'm going to do that, actually.
I think I've only had a couple of mags that didn't fall loose, and it was because of the lower receiver. It really sucked.
And they were real cool about sending me that shit because they told me they didn't think the drum would work. And if it had problems, please don't film it, but have fun with it. So it was like, I didn't even have to damn do a video on it if it acted up. It's just like, here, we're going to send you a drum too, you know? It's like, fuck, okay.
That was pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
My son was asking me, he goes, Daddy, what does that AK-47 look like when it goes? And I said, oh, well, here, let me show you. So I pulled the video up of you with the drum mag, and he was like, cool, man, because he's over there he's got a video game where his main battle weapon is an M60. And he's like, what do these guys have these AK-47s? He knows how to pronounce it better than the Antifa people do. He's a cool kid.
They seem to have been pretty quiet this week. I haven't seen much about old Antifa.
No, they're gonna dip their dick in the dirt, and that's about as far as it goes, man. They found out this shit's rough, and they put it back in the pants and go back to mommy's basement.
Yeah, I think that, and I still almost wonder that Ohio Antifa, blah blah blah, whatever, the AK-47, blah blah. I mean, I think that guy's actually for real, but there must be 1,000 for every one he's made a spoof, of spoofs, because even the spoof sometimes look. It's like I can't really tell the difference. This guy might be Antifa too. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I keep watching this Antifa guy, and he was doing a pretty good job of being Antifa.
There's one that the last one I seen, he's in Arizona. I think the ones from Arizona, I think they're fake, but I don't really know. I mean,
They should do one where they start doing like drills and go boom shaka like a boom shaka like a. Why did the chicken cross the road?
And I got a feeling half of them are that damn sad. The anarchists probably are more of an actual threat than the Antifa, I think. And I don't even think the anarchists are that big of a deal, but I could see them doing some one-off shit, blowing some shit up and stuff, because they're just anti like everything, really. I will never get anarchist.
I have a couple family members, and if I ever said anything that was anti-Obama, they got on Facebook and just went nuts on me. And I just wish you wouldn't disrespect our president. Yeah. And I hardly ever get on Facebook now, unless it's just checking it out and seeing if there's some good-looking roosters in the background cackling. But anyway, my nephew did this thing, and my cousin got on there and just started going nuts. And I said, just, can't you not disrespect them? And she's like, no, that guy belongs in jail, and yada, yada, yada. I was just like, oh, my God. So I decided I'm going to start having fun with her and just going nuts. And she went on with, the 3 million more votes and this and that. And it was everything I could do just not to reach through the damn computer and smack the shit out of her.
It's amazing how the left come out against Trump, and the stuff that they coming out against him, I mean, is so minuscule or such a non-issue. I'm not saying the man's perfect. He wasn't my first choice, but I like him. I like what he's doing. I don't like everything he's doing. There's some things, but compared to Obama and the shit that we had to go through and live through, and we're having to pay for it now, these little wusses out there on the street now, or because of that damn push for that damn left and everything else. I mean, we're seeing the repercussions of it now, and now they're just like, we don't get our way, and they just want to pitch a fucking fit.
Well, and this had the video of him, nudging. I guess did he nudge the guy, put his hand on his arm and say, moved by him, and they were like, oh my God, I wish he would have done that. It's like, you know what? If I was the president of the United States, I'd walk into a wrecked crowd and just go, get the fuck out of my way. I own this joint, period. And that's where we need to be. We pay for it. We own your ass. Act like it.
Yeah.
With this bowing down and handshaking and trying to act like, oh, you guys are this and that. Shut the. All right, never mind. Bring it down. Don't get me started. Hey, I don't want to hijack it or anything, but I was just reading the comments here. And the 1776 had his channel hijacked, and the guy's still in his videos. So if you guys can go over to 1776's latest video, he's got a link, and go report that guy. The only way that he'll get knocked out is if we get enough people to report him. And also, Dirt Road had the same thing happen to him as well.
I didn't know that about 1776.
I think it just happened today. The guy's got a couple of videos out, and I mean, I don't know how they do it. They just hijack the link, and they're able to feed it through their own YouTube channel. For the most part, the guys don't have anything, but they're looking to get a couple bucks, and if they do it enough times, they can do it to a bunch of people, and they don't have to do anything but sit back and collect money off of it, and it sucks.
Yeah, well, I don't say it makes it 100%, but I do think the watermark bill is something good to do. It took me a while to figure it out, and unfortunately, Blue, it always covers up you. But I had to get somebody in here with their name starts with an A, so you'll bump up the list there.
I'm good.
Is that how it works, alphabetically?
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to have to figure out how to do this chat thing.
It's not well. The first couple times, like whenever TR wasn't going to be around, I did a couple for him, and who the hell I had to get a hold of Jay Greg. I was like, man, I can't figure out how to get this shit started because I was trying to go to live events, and there's two separate ones, I guess. One you run through the Hangouts, and the other one you run through a different like your own software program. And that's what I kept doing is try and do it the hard way. But once you figure out what buttons to hit, it's pretty easy.
So what do? You go to on your computer, you go to Hangouts, and then you invite people. But how do you get that to come over your? No,
don't go to Hangouts. You go to you do it through YouTube. Hit your creative creator, whatever it is.
Right.
I'm talking about where you go to look at your comments and messages and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You'll see live events. You click that, and there's two options. Go to the bottom one where it says events. And you click that, and then you can set it up. It's almost like you're doing a video. You can set up your monetization and where the chat's at, when, blah, blah, blah. You set it up through that. And then you can set the time when you want to start it. You can do it ahead of time. Hell, you can do it today and make it for Friday, or whatever, and what time and all that stuff. And but do it through the YouTube live events, the events. The other one, you got to have some kind of other software and shit.
I'll have to. Hell, I know if Big Johnson can figure it out, then damn it, I know I can do it.
It's not hard. It actually is easier now than it used to be. It used to be you did have to download applications and extra software and blah, blah, blah. Now it just runs. Well, I assume it does. Maybe it's just because I've been doing it so long. I don't know. But it's not that hard. And there's a lot of buttons like you see it here now, like where you hover over to the left, all of a sudden the menu pops up, and on the top, same thing. The only thing is when you're hosting it, the stop broadcast button is down at the bottom all the time. So you got to be careful when you're moving your mouse around hitting buttons because you can cut your own chat off. And once you cut it off, you can't start it back. You got to start a whole other chat.
Well, one of these days I'm going to actually have to do that and figure out how to do it. There's, like I said, here's the cool thing. You've got Sunday nights. I don't think anybody in our circle has a Monday night. I know that Tuesday night you got it again. Wednesday night is 1776 Big Johnson KS Gun Guy. And Thursday nights, Trees was doing his. Has he slowed down on that one?
Yeah, he hadn't done one in a little while.
Yeah, and I travel on Thursdays, and usually I don't get home till about 11:30, 12 o'clock on Thursday night. So it's just, I feel privileged just to be awake tonight and to do this.
Johnny used to do them every other Friday, but he hadn't done one in a while. But he travels a lot. I think it's just too much for him to get home Friday, fly in and, try to set it up and all that. I mean, I actually kind of got a couple oddball nights. It's just the way it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's almost perfect, man. Tuesday nights work good for me because I'm out of town and usually don't have anything going on. And Sunday nights again, I think it's pretty cool just to be on here right now with you guys.
I do appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I love watching you guys, man. This is one of the best Sunday night chats to watch.
It used to be strictly political, and that's how I got it, because it went from I forget there was a series of people that it went through. Matt from Resistor Tyranny was doing it a while. I think David from American Warning was doing it first, and Matt took it over. And after a year or so, I won't say he got tired of it. It is when you sit down and say every Sunday night I'm going to do this, you kind of have to revolve your life around. And that's why a lot of people want me to do it on Saturday nights. And it's like, look, now I'm Friday, Saturday nights, I might want to go out on a date, blah, blah, blah. I am not committing every damn Saturday night to this.
Well, I think it was a long time ago when I first met Pops, and he and I were talking on the phone, and we were talking about you, and he's like, man, I don't know how he does it. He's got chats on Sunday nights, chats on Tuesday nights, and it's, and it was like, okay, no kids. At the time, I don't think you had a girlfriend. You're just living the dream by yourself, doing what you want, walking around in the underwear in the night, and all, it's how cool is that? Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm not, I don't have a girlfriend living here. I don't have a wife, don't have kids. It's a good hobby for me, to be honest. It's something to do. I enjoy doing it, and I've been doing it for years now. I started the Tuesday night chat just to have my own chat, and it wasn't long after that when the Sunday night slot was coming open, and we all kind of, because we had the same crowd coming, and it's like, well, we kind of want to keep this going. We don't want to just stop, So I was like, well, I'll start doing it then, and most of the people come over, And then after a while, the political stuff, just not that I don't pay attention to it and we don't talk about it, probably talk about it a little bit more on Tuesdays than we do on Sundays. It's just like, you know what? It's just easier just to talk about. If we want to talk politics, we talk politics. If we want to talk about guns, we talk guns. Whatever it is, we're just going to talk. If somebody asks a question and we happen to catch it in the external, we'll talk about that. I don't care. It rolls a lot better that way.
Look what Mel brought me. You're damn right. This is the silver. That's the añejo, and it's gone.
I only got a little tiny guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Mel's awesome dude, man. He's one of my best friends, and I love that guy. He's like a little brother. It's always good to have a guy in the house that'll bring you a nice bottle of tequila when you want them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you asked for a beer, not tequila.
I'm not quite out on this one. I was just being prepared, but this is a bonus. So this is I do recall, what was it? Was that Tuesday night when I was at the beach, and I was on that one chat, and I left the audio on or something like that. And I had to sneak off to the bathroom. I had a bad event. Yeah.
I didn't hear it, and I think somebody muted the mic for you. I didn't catch what was going on. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I was in rare form that night, man. I was wanting to bury my head in the sand for about a week. I called a couple of people. I said, "Was I just idiotic or what?" And they were like, "No, you were okay." I just took the word for it. So I don't know. We'll play with it from there.
Yeah, Big Johnson said he heard it. There was a few people said they heard it. I didn't hear it. I guess I was running my damn mouth or something. I just didn't.
All of a sudden, it was like one of those things where it just hit, and I was going, well, gotta excuse myself for a minute. Don't miss a beat, though. That's the important part.
There you go.
We need to get some intelligent conversation. Where's comms at?
I'll tell you, probably the best accident ever happened, like I used to play Xbox a lot. This was years ago. And it was, you know, guys my age, you know, we were like, got out of work and we were playing Call of Duty and shit. Well, the dude's wife came in and he thought that he muted his mic and shit. And he's like, well, hey, I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. There it is. Thought he muted his mic and he didn't. And they are just fucking going at it. It's going live over Xbox. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't have his cell phone number or anything to call him to be like, dude, you know, cut your mic, do something, do this. It was just like, and it was, everybody ripped that guy for a long time because, you know, you freaking, it's almost like YouTube. Whenever you get on Xbox and you start playing games, you kind of find the people that are, you know, I don't want to play with a bunch of 12-year-olds that are, you know, screaming and yelling. You know, you kind of find you're the same type of people. And we were all just, we couldn't even because it was so loud. It was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Was he doing hollering to his wife or what happened?
Oh, no. They started like going at it. Like they were fucking.
Oh, even better.
It was
everybody going, da, da, da.
I felt like a blind guy watching porn because you couldn't see anything. You could just hear it.
Oh, at least somebody was having fun.
Well, at least he had his priorities straight. He's put the video game controller down.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh, my God. That's too funny. So, Pops, you were out there shooting the CZ today, the P09, man. I wish you could get on this thing. I want to know what your unsolicited thoughts are on that gun. I've got mine. I love the daylights out of it. Trigger's a little
video on it.
Oh yeah, he actually put one out tonight, showing him shooting it out those IPDD8 targets or whatever the hell they call those things, and he was ringing them pretty good.
I hadn't seen any videos today, so. You talking about the Game Boy and whatever, Nintendo and all that. I don't know if you've seen the, I've only seen it on Facebook, but the little quick video. I forget how, it's like Modern Warfare or something like that, you know, and there's audio and everything, but it's, you know, it's got like a title, Modern Warfare for something or whatever. And like the family's at the kitchen table, and all of a sudden the dad comes walking in, you know, like he's been in war or whatever. It goes on. He'd been like playing whatever, you know, whatever the video games are now, that's big popular war games. He starts talking about this battle they've been doing. He'd been like in the living room for 2 months or some shit like that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, hot meal would be good, honey." You know.
Oh shit.
Little girls run up to him, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, you're back from war."
That's and I hate saying it. That's why I still play video games every now and again, but it's like Tiger Woods golf or hockey or some shit like that, because I don't know if it's like addictive personality. I mean, it's almost like crack. You know, once you start playing them war games, you want to fucking destroy people, and it's like you're setting up these little tiny groups, and then you figure out where spawn points are, or it's like, yeah, it's bad. So I'm done.
I got deep into the Call of Duty thing, and what's the other, Modern Warfare, whatever it was. But you know, working out of town, you got nothing to do in the evening, so there was a liquor store with a buffet right across the street from the apartment building I was staying in. And I went over there, got a half gallon of milk, a bag of Oreo cookies, and a rotisserie chicken, and a fifth of bourbon. And I would sit down and play that damn Call of Duty for 12 hours straight. It was absolutely nuts. There's Mel. But
movie's over.
But yeah, man, it's addictive. And you'd wake up, I mean, you'd look at the clock, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, your damn thumbs are raw. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, man, I can't be doing this shit anymore. But I got home, gained 50 or 60 pounds, and my wife said that thing's got to go. So she gave it to one of my neighbors. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So she hounds me about the hobbies that I have now. And I go, well, you know what I could do? I could go drinking. I could go partying. I could be buying stupid stuff. At least this is residual. It'll stay in the family and be here forever, you know?
It's an investment.
Yeah, I don't know if guns are an investment, but, you know, if you buy them cheap or you get something that's old, but the modern day gun, if you pay retail for it, I tell people it's just like, it's just like anything. If you drive that car off the lot, you're not going to see a very good residual if you try to resell. But if you get like I like to buy my guns used because then at least I know I can turn around and sell it for as much as I have in it. You know, unless it's a Springfield.
Most of the guns I buy are used. I mean, I do buy a new one here and there, but most of them I buy used or just a really good deal. You know, like that Genick. I think I paid $349 for it, brand new in the store. I'm pretty sure I could probably get $350 out of it or $400 out of it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, people know about Genicks and the different blah blah blah.
That's just a beautiful gun, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was a police trade-in.
Yeah. Well, that's you know, that's
$329, I think, or $350, something like that.
yeah. We're talking like to if you and you know where you're going to make your money back is on a one-to-one sale. You're not going to walk back into a gun store and try to trade it in. You get a rate. Yeah. And a lot of people, they don't know what their guns are worth. So, you know, they'll walk in there and they'll take it on trade and then they'll get eaten alive, you know? So I always tell people, do your research, know the market value of your gun and go from there. That's right. I snap my fingers. My damn dog's. I got the window facing our main street is right here. So he likes to sit up there and bark at anything that moves. I got Mel's finally done with the movie, so I got some silence there. And I got the dog barking. We got a full house, man.
I just upgraded to the Gen 4 for the Block 20. So I'm going to be able to buy my old one at $200.
Yeah, the police turnouts.
I'm going to sell that. I'm going to fucking sell that as quick as shit.
Glocks around here, you can't buy a Glock less than $450. I don't care how old it is, what generation it is, or whatever. I mean, well, if you see one used, just like a new one's $550 on the shelf, used one's $500. Same shelf in the store, you know. And Glocks, Hondas, people think they're worth just as much used as they are new.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's already broke in.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. I would love to be able to hold on to my old duty weapon because, I mean, that is a true shooter. I mean, I can just fucking, I don't know if it's because I've just shot it so much. I don't even have to aim with that thing, which, you know, you really don't have to aim to hit what you're, you know. But that thing, I love it. I don't want to sell it, but I know I'm going to get it for $200 and be able to sell it for, like you said, $450. I have the new Gen 4, so it's not like I have to hold on to it.
Yeah. It ain't like you got to turn your gun in every day when you leave work.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what they go for in your area, but yeah, I would think $450, $500. I mean, because I don't know what a 10 millimeter costs. A 10 millimeter may be up there in the $575 range. I don't know. I have never priced them. I mean, a 9 millimeter's $550.
Right.
You know.
Now these new the Gen 4s that we got in, I don't know if and I don't know why we didn't return them. It's not my call, of course, but we get them, we pull them out of the box, brand new. The finish on the slides are shit. I mean, it looks like the bluing isn't even. It's not uniform. Like there's streaks and there's what the hell, streaks and. There's parts that doesn't even look like they even had bluing added to it. And it's like, man, I would have sent that shit back.
Yeah. I guess when they get to police issue ones, a a little less on the quality control. It's like they're buying these regardless,
Right.
as long as they function.
Yeah, and that's all it is. As long as they function, who cares what they look like? Because literally, regardless on if you work in a big city and you're going out of your holster, every hour on the hour, or you're like me and you pull it out to shoot a deer. I mean, it's in the holster. You pull it out, you put it. The bluing's gonna go away. So I don't think that's why they're that worried about it. What do you think they're talking about?
I don't know. He pulled out a gun.
Well, I was telling Mel that whenever he was talking to me, that y'all can hear it, and he was talking shit about Pop's Quest. So I told him, you need to lower it down, so otherwise he'll hear it. No, he was like, "Have you ever shot that HK P30?" And I was like, "Man, no." And he goes, "You need to get one of those." Like, I wish I could, but they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my. It's CZ night, so I pulled the CZ out. This is the my P09, which is just like what Johnson's got. But anyway, I'm playing. I'm having fun. I'm trying to pre-plan my week to see what I'm going to be doing for the YouTube thing, and we're going to shoot the CZ for the fun of it. Do a hashtag CZ for Mafia for Life thing. Who knows?
Now, do you have any? Are you a Glock guy at all? Do you shoot Glocks? No.
One of these days, I'm probably going to have to submit to the Glockster. I'm just trying to wait till they come out with that perfection one. So
no, they don't have that perfection one. It's Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. We've almost got it. Maybe on the Gen 5.
They are working always to endeavor to work towards perfection, which is,
I just don't. I don't like. This is the first Gen 4 I've had, and I don't like the grip at all. I mean, it's rough. I mean, it's better. It's a better grip. That fucker's so, because whenever we wear the duty holsters, they're a little higher than your normal holster, I guess you could say. But holy Christ, it's wearing short sleeves. Well, I don't have it now because I haven't been working for 2 days. But just walking, like you brush your arm up against it, and it's almost like I got a fucking rash on my arm because it's like going across sandpaper. It's like, you fuckers. That's about the only thing I don't like about it.
Here's the thing. It's you above all. I mean, I carry a gun on a day-to-day basis, but you're carrying one, and it's propped out there so far. You basically can use it as an armrest. And when you're wearing short sleeves and you got that thing, it'll wear a spot on your arm, not even thinking about it. But quit your whining. Put you some. Are you guys allowed to modify them in any way?
Nope.
Yeah, well, you're done.
I was actually waiting to get in trouble because I took like a light blue fingernail polish and put it in like where it says Glock and all that shit on the slide. You can
Oh my God.
You can barely notice it, but it just pops out just a little bit. And I was waiting to get dung on that, but nobody ever said anything other than, hey, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Mr. Blue, is it true that did you or did you not add the blue and the
Chanel
to enhance the ability to shoot the suspect? That blue enhance your animosity towards the suspect. Therefore, sure, I moved to dismiss.
That's something you actually have to look out for. I mean, I don't know how much you guys keep up on it, but I've got a lot of different emails, emails that get sent to me, plus on my own personal Facebook stuff. There's been cops that, because I carry my own AR to work, just because I know it functions, I know what its capabilities are, and I don't want to fucking grab an AR that the douchebag before me had and did something stupid to it and didn't say anything. You go to fire and it doesn't. But a lot of guys do that, and they have like the Punisher emblem, on their dust cover or something. And that shit it hasn't got them in trouble. But like what you're saying, going through a criminal court, if you have to shoot somebody or civil court, that's hell. I mean,
they look at anything. They'll look at anything to paint a negative picture or your desire to actually go out and do something evil. And that's it, man. That's, I was, one of the best videos I saw was the other day was Johnny McVie, Sheriff of Baghdad, SOB, and he did a thing on road rage and when it's the best time to address it. And he goes, man, unless somebody, first thing to do, don't stop, evade, try to get out. And if you get blocked in, if the guy's beating the shit out of your car, literally let him beat it. And the only time you should, when you feel like you're in danger, is when the guy's got the crowbar out, getting ready to break the window in, and he breaks the window, you're on. But he goes, it's scary, but you literally have to be the absolute victim with a video camera or otherwise. When we had it today, I had a guy we were walking downtown Charlotte, and this guy was throwing food around, and my daughter and I were in line, and the guy threw a bag of food, and it went right behind me. And I just was like, man, and you don't ever know if this guy's jacked up on drugs or whatever, but if he hit my daughter, I don't know that I'd be able to control myself, And but it goes back to the topic of they will look at anything to bury your ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, when you start carrying a gun, you definitely have to. Your patience level has to increase phenomenal. I mean, not that I was an impatient person or starting a fight or anything, but it does want to start a fight. It's like you got to back up and walk away. I mean, until your life is in danger, you better make sure you're on the right side of the law on that. I mean, I'll put up with so much. I mean, of course, eventually, there is a point, like you say, if somebody's beating your car, well, you can't shoot them. You just can't pull out your gun and shoot them. And for the most part, you don't even want to get out and start a fist fight or get in an opportunity to get in a fist fight. It's like, you got to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is it'll escalate, and that's not where you want to go. Especially if you are carrying a hand cannon, because the best thing is de-escalate the situation, evade it, get away from it in the last resort, unless if your life is in danger or your family's life. There are certain protocols we have in North Carolina that have to be met prior to engaging with deadly force. And you better make sure that check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4 is ready to go. So it just sucks.
Yeah, but and actually though, that got me in trouble. Man, it's been a while since it's probably been a year now, if not, well, probably about a year. But I was driving through town, and this asshole fucking literally pulled right the fuck in front of me to where I had to jack the brakes or else I would have hit him. So, it instantly pissed me off, and I just fucking hit the horn and threw the bird out the window. That's all I did. I didn't do, I wasn't riding him, anything else. It was literally that quick. Hit the horn, throw the finger out the window. He fucking jacks his brake, jumps out of his fucking car, and starts back toward my car. And this is where it's muscle memory, it's training, everything else. I was out my fucking car door, I kept myself between the car door and this asshole, and he's just yelling and fucking screaming. And I got my fucking hand on my fucking gun. I'm in my personal car, got my wife in there and my one kid. And I was like, dude, just get the fuck back in your car and go. And he just kept coming. Like, dude, you don't want to fucking come any closer. I never pulled my gun because he was far enough back. But I just kept repeating myself, get back in your car and go. Get back in your car and go. And finally, he just fucking threw his hands up like, fuck you, you asshole. And then he gets back in his car and he fucking goes. And whenever we got to the next intersection, I'd already predetermined if he doesn't turn, I'm turning. It's not the route I'm going to go, but I'm going to turn.
Get the hell away from him. Played a bigger role. I mean, I had a situation, like I said, I think we did it on another one, where my son and I were coming back from a camping trip, and this guy from McDonald's, he walked about 15 feet off the right side of the car and then 90 degrees right up to the window. And I was just like this. And my adrenaline level went to nothing because he didn't look like the homeless guy. He was a capable homeless guy, and he approached the window like he was getting ready to do something other than just beg for money, and that's what alerted me. And I just shot up 110 degrees, man. But I was ready just to do this right here, and it's in your face, motherfucker. Get the hell away from me, But again, was he doing anything at the time? It's almost behooves you to allow them to do something first before you are preemptive and are proactive in that measure and taking them out. So.
But that's where I got myself in trouble, because I mean, whenever I'm working, if I pull anybody over, as soon as you see that car door open, even though you might be calling out the plate, you might be given a description, whatever the stop location, you fucking stop everything and you jump out of the car and start screaming, stay in your car. And that's exactly what I did. And it was like, I agree that you should probably stay in your vehicle. If he's got a ball bat, something like that, and he starts attacking your car and he's coming towards you, you probably dump him without thinking twice about it. But man, it was like, fuck. I can't believe that people, because there was a line of cars behind us. I can't believe that somebody didn't call 911, because whenever he came out, I mean, I was out of the car so fast. And I mean, the people behind me definitely saw that I had my hand on a fucking gun. And it was like, man, I don't want to say it scared me, because it didn't really scare me. It was just it was more of well, actually it did, because I had my family in the car.
Well, that's a totally different story, man. You got the family in there. It's a little different. I mean, your attention span is going to be jacked up to start off with. If you're in uniform and you got a guy coming out of the car after you pulled him, that's your first reaction. It's what you're taught to do. Get the fuck back in that car. And not only for your safety, but for their safety. Otherwise, they're going to be liable to get hit by a car, then it's your fault. If they keep moving forward you, then pull the taser out. There's a decision point level you got to start making. Here we are talking tactics again after a couple of beers. Anyway, cheers, Blue.
So what you do is you make sure that you sweep like this and you cut the pie.
You got to cut his pie hole wide open. Then what you do is the snapper head will just have to die. Then you ripped his Adam's apple out and you ate it. You get rid of the evidence, It's beautiful fire tonight. Stars are beautiful. That's lovely.
Put the lotion on this thing where it gets the hose again.
Wow, what a fun night. Oh, TR, you were so funny. I think you were sitting next to me right when that damn 50 cal round went off. And I just saw Pops walking up to the fire. I'm like, get the fuck out of there. Boom!
We couldn't have timed that out on purpose. Tried. That was perfect. Your voice was, because I really wasn't talking. I was just kind of filming. I had somebody comment on that video. It's like, how did you get Cody Boy to be your commentator or something? Or I thought this was a video or some shit.
I was more like, damn, my phone died. Boom.
Damn it, my phone died. Pops, get the fuck out of there. Boom.
Oh, that reminds me of the good old days of explosives and shit, people getting blown up. And hey, anyway, God.
I'll tell you, whenever like I got my camera set up and then he threw it in the goddamn fire, I don't know who the people were that had the other camper that pulled in. I was behind their camper behind the goddamn axle, crouched down, just waiting. I'm not a hero by any means. I'll fucking hide.
One that lived for a while had his camera stick right on top of that. And he shared that video with me, so I put it out there. But I'll tell you what, man, what a absolute phenomenal time. I got to put my phone on the charger here real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. I wasn't worried about it like killing anybody, but I just knew you might get hit with something upside the head, you know, some hot charcoal or something's flying through there.
That was definitely a big pop at the end, but
yeah, it kind of did what I figured it would. I mean, there's a lot of powder in there, but I knew it would just split and whatever. Yeah, I actually, you know, my video, you can hear me talking to SoCal, and I'm talking about, yeah, I've seen a bunch of AK rounds go off in the fire. It ain't really that big a deal. It just throws sparks and shit everywhere. You know, you got to watch your eyes. I said something about it. Yeah, I accidentally threw it in the fire, and you hear him say, accidentally?
do you see Yankee 4's comment in the external? The funny thing is, I know that I warned at least you, and I thought Pops was in that chat as well, that I was going to name my Wi-Fi on my GoPro Delta Team or FBI Delta Team something. It was kind of funny, like hearing people like, "Holy shit, you guys see this? The FBI Delta Team, there's a Wi-Fi connection close." It's like,
yeah, you saw it. I think Rob was one of the ones that said something about it. It might have, I forget who said something. Somebody finally said something about it. So what the hell is this?
I've actually, one of mine, I've got it as secretservice.gov on my iPhone. And it's always interesting when you're sitting there, you know, you see the open networks or whatever it is, and it's a lot of fun to get people to screw with folks.
See somebody over there shutting their phone off. Turn that son of a bitch off.
Son of a bitch! Shit! We're sitting there talking to a good friend of mine. He's with NBC, and he's on the good side, though. But they were covering the RNC, talking about the Secret Service. They had an intern that saw Paul Ryan walk by and reached out and said, "Hey, Mr. Ryan," and patted him on the back. What he didn't realize is the Speaker of the House is number 3 in line for the presidency, and they jacked his ass up, took his credentials, they messed him up good. He was like, "You touched the Speaker of the House? You don't understand where he's at, do you?" That was funny as hell. But I used to, I used to work with the federal government managing projects, high profile jobs for those guys. And a lot of times we had the Secret Service, FBOP, DHS, a lot of individuals in there. Oh, shit. They just let anybody in here, will they?
Well,
hang
on, I'm still trying to work
Dude,
it out. You
look handsome tonight, Pops. Look at that. Oh, you sexy son of a bitch. I'm going to take my earmuffs out so I can see if I can use the speaker on this phone, see how it sounds. You guys hear me?
Yep.
What's happening? Hey, well, at least on my end, I took blue out of the watermark, but I don't know if it's like that on the thing, but anyway, yeah, we had a house full, so I was just listening to all your bullshit. But hey, there it is. I got actually, see, I'm an OG. I got the 2016, so you know.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, is that 2011 or 2017? I thought I had a vintage cup. Is this a collector's item or what do we got here?
Nah, you can only be so accurate with friggin' timber. I mean,
oh man, that's cool.
yeah, but look at my my great design skills. You know, you go on Tervis Tumblr and you design the artwork, and I was like, yeah, click OK, whatever. And friggin', it's got like an 1.5 inch gap in the back where nothing's going on. I'm like, oh well, that's just like a sight gauge, like in a fuel tank or something, you know, whatever.
That's like one of the new damn. That's one of those new damn magazines that TR got from KCI. He's got the window back, so you know how full we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Their quality control must not be that good, because actually mine, the one I got, goes all the way around.
No, that's the 17. I'm talking about the 16.
Oh, the 16. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
makes.
have you have the 16 also. Check it out.
Mhm.
You'll see what I mean.
Oh, I believe you do. Yeah.
Don't worry, they're all the same. It's not like the double-headed Indian penny that it's worth $1 million or nothing. They're all the same.
Collector's Edition Farmageddon Cup. Who got the one golden ticket?
Well, there was a few golden tickets.
Check this out, Pops. I added sand to the mix. If I can get that in there. Isn't it pretty?
It looks dull but very clean, so good.
It's very clean, but you know what? I was sitting there. I found I ordered a pound of pins, the stainless steel pins, for $14 delivered, because that's all I need right now.
Yeah.
And they come in next week, so I'm real excited about starting to I'm going to really get them polished up. But man, this is just, I was just stoked that I found this little rock tumbler, man, because it does 200 shell cases of 9mm or 45 at a time, and I put 150 of these things in there for 4 hours, and that's where they came up. But that's all I need for what I'm doing. It was just overly exciting for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blue in the face by telling people how when you start cleaning brass that way, that's it. You'll never clean them another way.
Well, I imagine probably in about another month, 2 months, I'm going to be getting the Mac Daddy and going from there.
Well, no, before you do that, be careful because, man, you can clean a lot of brass in cycles. I would not put, if that thing works, I would wear that sumbitch out. I would not buy anything else.
Well, here's the whole thing. You can, for $23, you can buy a whole new one, and it's got selection days. You can run it up to 4 days at a time, which is sick. So, and like you said, if I can run 200 cases of 9mm or 100 cases of 223, because that's probably all I'm going to load at a time anyway. So you go to work, pop it on there, let it run, get home, we'll clean them off, and you're done. So, I don't have a massive production where I've got the little L down there running it for me, but
when you wet tumble with pins, you'll never tumble more than 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to leave them all while you're gone. I mean, that's overkill, and that's the beauty of it. Blue, what's shaking, brother? How you doing?
Oh, doing good. To yourself?
Doing lovely, man. Thank you.
Got some people out in the external asking if you have any of the 2017 tumblers left, if they can order them.
I have 3 left.
Ooh, wow. That's got to be at least $30 a piece then.
Well, they cost me 20, and if you drive all the way to Farmageddon, I was taking donations on face value, which it helped a lot. But seeing that there's only 3 left, I'd have to get $30 a piece, and then they could donate straight to the Fisher House Foundation and send me a receipt, and I would gladly send them a cup.
Well, I walked out of there with a whole case of them. So if you want,
and I can order more, but the thing is, if you, I can't remember how many I ordered, but I ordered just enough to get the percentage discount, because those bastards those are expensive if you don't get some kind of a discount. I even, here I'll go ahead and tarnish Tervis here just real quickly. I asked them to work with me on a fundraiser for what it was, and they were like, "Listen, our discounts are per piece. Good luck." And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to tell them to go pound sand, but I needed them, so I just wish they would recognize certain things like this where they could really step up and make a little difference. But that's okay. They're doing business, so whatever.
Mm-hmm. So there you guys go out in the side chat. First 3 people to make a donation to the Fisher House of how much, Pops?
We'll go with $30, and you know what? I'll even pay the shipping to send it to them if they'll make the donation. But but what you really have to do when you make the donation, a lot of people were taking a screenshot. Hopefully people know how to do that, and then they would just email me at popprepper@gmail.com. They would email me that screenshot, and then they would send me their address. Now, this is when I did the mag loader thing way back in the day. My first mag loaders I sent out for donations to the Fisher House. People would send me a screenshot, and I would send it out. And I'm like, man, I hope people aren't fucking, artwork in this shit, But I think everybody was straight up legit with it, So.
Hopefully, at least in this group, because if you get found out, there would probably be some hell to pay.
Yeah, it'd be a bad day. And you're right. This is a good crowd. I'm not worried about that. But back then I was getting emails from people that I didn't know. So I was like, oh shit, man. But I didn't really want to be in the loop of the money. I wanted people to donate the money to the cause and just send me proof of it, because it is YouTube. And then with Task Force Dagger, I did the same thing. Shout out to Coda Boy 32 right there. He got him and his boys some loaders. And I wanted to make sure people knew the money was going to the project, and then send me proof. And that way it cut me out of the loop of having to, really worry if people thought I was fucking hoarding their money or something, but buying CZs with it or something. But anyway, but on the other end of the chain, I'm worried people are photoshopping that shit too. So, but and I will. Oh man, I don't have the letter. I'm gonna dig the letter out. I did get a letter back from the Fisher House, a really nice letter recognizing the event and everything. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna dig it out here and show you guys.
I got a letter 2 weeks ago.
Okay, good. Yep, because I guess because I sent your check in, and there were some other people that brought checks straight to it, and I requested them to send something back, and it was good. It was really good. So
First class. It really was first class letter.
Yep. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
So yeah, Melvin went out and got himself a Stoger 3000, man.
Oh yeah.
Fell in love with that thing. He was like,
now,
what size tube can I put on it?
Is it the 3000 or the M3K with all the trick gear on it?
I believe it's a 3000 32.
Now, so the magwell, when you flip it over, is just normal, right?
Yeah.
Damn it, son. You should have got that M3K, because that sumbitch is all polished and ready to go. I think it's...
This was used.
Yeah, it was used at the local gun shop that we have here. Picked it up for some stupid deal. And as a matter of fact, I was looking at it, and he came into town. And he goes, guess what I got? I'm like, what'd you get? I got this Stoger. And I'm like, ah.
So here's what you do. What you do is you park that Stoger at his house, and you make him fucking trick it out for you and do a bunch of videos about it. So it'll be a win-win situation. So
that's the plan.
Half of my income comes from his gun purchases. I go, what did you do last night? He goes, well, I tied one on, and me and eBay had a nice relationship. And I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah, the first probably 30 videos, a lot of my pieces on my the pickle.
Yeah.
Man, you can take a ton of metal out of that area. I've seen guys take metal out to where, I mean, it's like scooped out and like polished all the way up to, and then you take that, that the loading ramp, you bend that shit with your hand to where it's curved.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. You'll watch some modifications on that, and it'll blow your mind how much metal you can take out of there. And it's nice.
The Sin City gun champion, whatever those guys are. And Mikulik was on there, and his daughter was shooting, and JJ and a couple of other big dogs, man. And they were shooting with the AK variant of the shotgun with the big 40. I mean, the damn magazines were this long, and it was awkward watching them try to walk around with this thing. And some dude had a Mossberg 930 with a really cool magazine on the tube. It was like it was like this big around, but it was underneath the magazine. You ever seen one of those?
Is that the one where when you rack it, it shoves more rounds up in there, and you keep shoving rounds in there?
No, it was automatic, and he just kept shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. It was wild. If I still have it out there, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you. But it's pretty wicked. It looks like a bank. It might be something he turns that just keeps feeding shells into it. I'm not sure, but it was I never seen anything like it. It was really cool.
Well, Keltec makes one that's got 2 tubes, and you know that
it was a multi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It looked like a 930.
They also make this magazine that's like box fed that you hook on the slide. So like every time you rack it, you're shoving more rounds in there. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
but it looks kind of weird. I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, Mikulik had these tubes, man. He just kept on feeding them up in there, and that was.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about the loading tubes. Yeah, you can stage 5 or 6 rounds on them and hang them on your belt, and you're just boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
This is different. This is attached to the rifle. It was a big tube. It's about that big in diameter, and it goes right at the front of the barrel. And it was about this long. And he just shot. It was wild, man. It was like he got 14, 15 rounds out of that thing before it was said and done. But,
damn, I gotta get one of them fuckers.
It looked like a grenade launcher.
And it was.
Probably was. But
that's where we saw the swinging bridge.
Yeah. But Pops, I brought this thing out in your honor, baby. I was like, I'm gonna have to do some shooting this week with this thing, man.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man. I found a new love in pistols, man.
I'm glad that you've taken and moved up in the world. I was really impressed with that Magwell. That was something else. I was saying, ooh, wait a minute now. I saw that. I gotta give the boys.
That's the small one. They make a medium and a large, but the small, it doesn't look like you're all that. And if you even halfway know how to load a freaking pistol mag, you'll get it in there.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's so many wants that outweigh the needs that I'm having to wait till next month to save some money, and hopefully I'm really jonesing for that P07 though. That's a bad little thing. That or the SP01. I don't know. We'll see. I
would say just sell some of your Glocks, but damn, you don't own any.
No, I was smart. I let Big Johnson taught me how to get in the Glock.
He's a good man. I appreciate that.
He is a good guy. Blue, tell us about any good cop adventures lately, or anybody else?
I haven't had any
tail lights, or you dust anyone.
Well, you always got to make sure. First thing you do is revoke the rights of the citizen. I mean, that's number one in police work. I mean, automatic. But I haven't got to do that lately. We've been getting a lot of easy cases where dumbasses are stealing shit and then putting them on fucking Facebook, like the local flea market sales. I got to do a shout out there to the fucking dumb criminals, because you guys are the ones that keep us employed. The ones that are actually think the crime through, don't say anything to anybody, and go a couple towns over to fucking sell the stuff. Good on you.
Yeah. I had some guys rip me off one time. They were some contractors, and they actually went back. Well, what they did, they broke into my house in the middle of the night because they knew I was out of town. Stole my TV. I mean, just basically stereo, surround sound, computers, all that kind of stuff. And the first thing they did was they went to the pawn shop, and I had serial numbers, everything ready to go. So I went and gave it to, and it was in a different county. And I guess they thought they were all right. So there was already a warrant out for all those serial numbers. And these knuckleheads, they called me and said, we went down there, here's all your stuff. I got it right back. And they go, well, they're in a different county, so we can't really get them. And I go, you want to bet? Watch this. I called the guy. I said, hey, listen, I got your check ready for you. You want to just meet me out in front of Lowe's? He goes, yeah, I'll meet you out in front of Lowe's. I called the cops. I said, he's out in front of Lowe's. They caught him with meth a bunch of other stuff, pot. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And he went to jail for a good long time. He and his two little son-in-laws. And I just sat in the parking lot, shook my head, and laughed at him the whole way. I was like, right there, motherfucker. Never forget that day.
Okay, just real quick, since y'all mentioning that, I seen a story. I want to say it was in Chicago. It was Chicago, Ohio, or something like that. But I want to say Chicago. Anyhow, it's some kind of bust. I forget all the particulars about it, but they caught these guys. They pulled them over for something. Anyhow, caught them. They had 100 or maybe they busted. Maybe it was a house bust or something. 125 guns, if I'm not mistaken. It was over 100 guns. And then they listed, like I said, meth, this and that, so much cash, and 25 rounds of ammunition. I was like, how the fuck do you have 125 guns and 25 rounds of ammunition?
That's how you know they're involved in a crime. No, but it is literally so easy to solve crimes anymore. That fucking fingerprints versus DNA. I mean, Christ, we had a robbery at a bank, like, a small town, like the people that own local businesses. Every night they close, let's say at 11 o'clock. You know that they're going to be at the bank by midnight, and they're going to do the drop deposit thing. Well, this dumbass robbed somebody at a bank with a knife, and then whenever he's running away, the person's watching him run away, and he throws the knife down in like a sewer drain, and they're like, yeah, well, he robbed me with a knife, and the knife's in the sewer drain. I saw him throw it down it. So we ended up getting the knife. We sent it out for DNA testing, and it was like, it's unbelievable how much DNA was in that knife, because literally think about how many times you reach in and out of your pocket on any given day, and you have your pocket, or you have your knife in that pocket. Your skin dander, I forget what the rate that your skin regrows and the dead cells fall off. It was packed in that fucking knife. It was a case closed as soon as that came back. I mean, it was like, yeah, don't do stupid crimes, because it's, God, it is so easy to get busted anymore.
Well, let's just say this. I watched that movie Heist, where the guys went out the Loomis Fargo truck, and they stole the $17 million in cash. Watched that today. I laughed my ass off. It's not a bad movie, but that happened just right around the corner from where I live.
Wasn't that in Pittsburgh?
No, it's Charlotte and Gastonia.
Because we just had one of those, man, it's been probably at the most 5 years ago, where a guard for one of the companies that run the money back and forth in the armored cars, he freaking shot his partner in the head and made off with a couple $1 million. It was like, I mean, what the fuck? Everybody knows who you are. And he kept leaving cash, like on tombstones and shit. Like, he would call his mom or he'd call his dad and say, hey, look, go visit grandma. And he'd leave like $14,000 on a headstone. And
good Lord,
that couldn't have been too long ago. I'm going to look
that one in North Carolina. I remember that, because it seemed like they got close to getting away with it, but then they started spending money.
That's where they went down to Kramer Mountain, and they had caught. One of the things they got caught with was the velvet painting of Elvis, like $100,000 or something. And she went to the bank and made a real large deposit. And then she was like, well, it's not like it's drug money, so don't worry about it. And anytime you withdraw anything over $10,000 or you deposit anything over $10,000, they immediately report anything to the IRS or the FBI as suspicious money situation. And that's how they got caught. And they were buying shit, cars, houses, crazy stuff. They just didn't sit on it long enough. So, dumbasses.
Yeah, even though with inflation, I think now the report limit is down around $3,000, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, it's getting well. The government does not want you to use cash no more, so they're trying to inconvenience you. Fuck it! I cashed a $1,250 check the other day. It cost me $7.50 at Wells Fargo to cash a check, and I mean that's just that just screams don't cash a check, don't get a check, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's the war on cash.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't realize we went to refi our house, and with me driving, I can deduct all my miles. But I drive 50,000 miles a year, so of course I deducted all that mileage, and then we went to refi our house, which put my ratio, according to the IRS, the banks have to use your recorded income off your tax returns, and they deduct that amount from your net income. And I'm sitting there going, but it's the mileage. I didn't actually pay this out of pocket. Doesn't matter. We can't apply it. And I was blown away by that. They used to not deal with that. But with the mortgage fraud and everything else they're doing now, they want you to either not deduct that miles, pay the taxes on it if you want to refi, or you're going to pay the penalty one way or another. It's a fuck deal.
Yeah, but you expense those miles, right?
No, I get a firm fixed amount for my company for my travel, so I deduct them all, and that's the reason why. But I don't report the stuff that I get.
Right. Yeah. So you take a deduction on mileage, which is 55 cents a mile, and I do the same thing. I don't depreciate vehicles in maintenance. I take mileage because if you keep a vehicle for a long time, the mileage deduction is way better.
Well, I look at it like this. I do 60,000 miles a year.
Right.
And that equates to 55.6 cents per mile. Or at least it was last year. I think it's 55.3 or something like this year.
Well, if you buy and operate the vehicle properly, you can go way under that. So here's the thing. So your expenses are, say, 30, 40 cents a mile, and you're deducting 55 cents a mile. The idea is to take the bigger deduct than what it actually costs to operate the vehicle. But so you had an income of X amount of dollars, and you had a deduction of
25 grand.
Literally. So you
But
showed an operating cost. Yeah, I guess you had to show that operating cost.
Yeah.
Of the
What they
vehicle.
do, they take it on your not your W-2. They take your tax return. So you have to show 3 years of your tax returns. And on 2 of the years I did the travel, and they nailed me on it.
But here's the thing. I'm trying to think, like, if you're getting a set pay for traveling, like they're paying, I don't know how they're paying you. They're probably paying you on 1099. And so I'm wondering if you really need to take the deduction.
We'll talk offline about that. I don't want to get involved in that online. But
no, I know, it's just, for me, it's always a mind fuck to try to figure shit like that out. But
let's just say this: it's a very unique means that they pay me, that I don't pay taxes on that, and I don't declare it.
yeah, well, no,
So
that's
I don't claim that as income, or it would counteract the deduction, or at least a little bit. But I don't. So it's an expense, and there's a lot of other things that are at play on that end of it. I'll sit down, we'll chat one night over a campfire. And
well, yeah, but in generic terms, you're taking a deduction to lower your income. Generally, it's basically the way it works for me. I take every expense that I can to lower my income, taxable
at the end of the
income.
day, I'm trying to lower my tax liability,
Yeah,
and that's
but
what me to do. So
right, and so when you do that, you have to be careful that you don't screw yourself in trying to apply for a loan for XYZ. And yeah, I get all that. So there's unique ways to handle all that.
it doesn't go against you. Like if you go to get a car or something like that, they're not going to pull your tax returns. You go to your tax returns. You don't give a shit. So
it's only when you go after the real estate is when they want it.
Yeah, but anyway, we're working on that situation, because I told you about the shooting range that we're going to be getting here pretty soon. So
I'm happy for you if that goes through, man, dude. that's awesome.
Well, here's the thing.
It changed my life. You know, getting some property.
I already have a renter lined up for this whole situation, so we're in good shape. They're voting for it in November. I don't think it's going to go through. We're talking about the buckle, the Bible Belt here, but well, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, fuck them until they tell you no, and then fuck them again.
Well, yeah, well, they put you in jail if you tell them no on this one, so we're not going to mess around with there. Isn't that right, Blue?
Absolutely.
Well, if you're buying dirt in the middle of nowhere, just make sure it's like Farmageddon, where you do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, that's the whole thing. I told my brother-in-law we're probably going to move him down there, and I just told him he's looking for the property. I'm going to finance it, and I just said as long as it has a dwelling on it, and where we can finance. I'm not going to do cash out of pocket on this thing, and so as long as we can mortgage it, it has a good appraisal value on it, or it's as good as gold, because then all I got to do is I can show a lease agreement in the income or the payments covered. We're gold. So
yeah, a little two-way street there. I got you.
Yeah, well, it's income. It's additional income, so it's covered. So the cost of the land is covered. We're actually looking at stuff down at Myrtle Beach right now. Every time we turn around, it's like you see something for a minimal amount of cost, and I want a house. I don't want a damn condo or something stupid when you got the homeowners.
You mean to live in, like to move to?
Hell no! I want something where I can go to a bar every night in my golf cart.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Surf City, not Surf City, but that's Topsail. But
Garden City,
up in God, what is it? Ocean Drive, Cherry Grove area, that thing.
Yeah, and then you got Wrightsville Beach, right north of that in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I did some restaurant work up there in Raleigh area and all that.
Yeah, we used to have a house on Topsail when I grew up, and after the third hurricane, we were like, we're done with that mess, man. It was crazy. Oh Lord, what time is it? 11:15. You guys on Sunday nights, y'all run late, man.
I'm up. I'm only up because I ain't got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Where's the wait staff around here?
I gave my guys a day off, and I'm smoking ribs tomorrow, and I'm not doing shit but getting in the swimming pool and whatever the hell I want to do. So, what the hell is that?
What's the other one?
That's his favorite.
That Thunderbird. We got some Thunderbird over here too. This is
that.
Firefly Sweet Tea.
Oh, yeah, I got a case of that shit in the closet. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right here, my friend.
Thunderbird. I'll tannerite that motherfucker, but the sweet tea's pretty good.
It'll melt the tannerite. That's the problem. And then there's the skinny girl. We're living large over here.
That's Lance's favorite.
Yeah, Lance is here for the weekend, so.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's in bed. Blue, what are you doing? You're awful quiet over there.
No, that's kind of the way I get.
Well,
it's been a long night, a long day, and just sitting here listening.
There you go.
Chilling.
No, I'm not going to be doing it. Well, you know what? There is a empty parking lot not far from here. Thank you, sir. But Mel's got one of those big ass coolers full of these things.
Across the street.
$15.99 a case.
Just rub it in there, Blue.
Yeah, I know he is. I'll tell you what, next Farmageddon, I'm bringing a U-Haul trailer. I'm going to figure out a way I'll bungee cord that shit to the back of my car. I'm going to fill up on cases of beer. I could not, Christ, once I hit even Virginia, I don't even think I made it to West Virginia. Oh yeah, I did. It was West Virginia where I bought that case. I was like, fuck, this shit is cheap down here.
There you go. You get the video cameras out, get you somebody in a Trans Am running blocker for you.
Eastbound down.
We can do it.
Get you a basset hound.
Who's that guy? Fox? Who's the damn governor of Pennsylvania now? What's that dude's name? Wolf. Tom Wolf. his platform when he ran for governor was, we need to raise taxes, and he did it with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Sure as shit, that was part of the program, because I used to buy beer for a Yingling had all the cool flavors, you know, the Bach, they had the winter and all the other cool. And you used to be able to buy that before he was elected for, you know, $18, $20 a case. And then shortly thereafter, didn't he raise the fuel prices and oil tax on oil and stuff like that?
Man, we've got the highest fucking gas tax ever. You look up the highest gas tax in America, and I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania is number one.
It's just sucks, man. And
America. What's America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're at what? We're at $2.65 a gallon here.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus. We're at like 209, 210 at the most here.
I stop in Roanoke, Virginia to get my gas going up and back. I can stop at the same gas station, and mid-grade 89% or 89 octane is $1.13. I mean, 213. Sorry.
Kingstree has one of the cheapest gas in South Carolina on the way to the farm. So
yeah, no, it's
right there by Fred's General Store across the street. That little gas station off of 527.
I don't ever actually get into King Street because when I go up 52, I fucking hook a hard left before I get there. But I've been through there one time when I was looking at the place. It's an interesting little town. I need to stop in there more often.
The gas station near the hospital is what I'm talking about. It usually has like insanely cheap gas.
Yeah.
Well, even Monk's Corner up that way is pretty cheap. Like when I got up that way before the Tail Race Canal, there's a little BP there. I'm like, man, 209? Shit, it was like 215, 16 in Charleston. So
the BP in Jamestown.
All right, y'all want to sit there and talk gas prices? You fucking get your maps out. We need
hey,
conversation here.
Hey, this is important shit, man. We got to know where to get our gas cheap, man. This is important
Pick
shit.
one. Stick with it. You got to compare your cigarette prices there too.
You know, I like to get my shit on the low. You know that, right? So,
well, yeah, the boys up in PA, I used to stop in Harrisonburg and pick up cartons of cigarettes and bring them up there because we could get carton of Marlboro for $49.95, $50 out the door.
Have a message, sir.
yeah, don't they run cigarettes from Canada, upstate New York to Canada? Because like even in Canada, it's like 3 times the price or something like that.
They go to the reservation and get them in New York.
If you're a smoker, it is actually worth your time if you have the money to take a day trip to go to one of the reservations and buy 5 cartons to 10 cartons and bring them back. And the money you save is my mom does that for my dad still. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, my mother-in-law, when she used to come down here, she'd roll back up to Michigan with about 5 or 6 cartons of cigarettes.
Fuck, Bizarrizza Jizza says a pack of cigarettes in New York is $10.53. Yep. How the fuck do you even smoke? I mean, I think I could feed a family of 5 a meal for that if I bought my own groceries.
The whole thing, they go without food. That's why they're skinny. They're skinny because there's they still got the soda tax going on up there or whatever. What's that?
$2.55 for a gallon of gas, man.
$2.65.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yours is more. Man, fuck all that.
Yeah, prepping to endure. You poor guys in New Jersey. Actually, what's funny is I went to a college down in North Carolina where a bunch of people from New Jersey. And you get these girls down there, and they pull up to the gas station. They wait 15 minutes for somebody to come out there and pump their gas. And everybody's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, isn't somebody going to pump my gas? No.
Hard Target says he lives near Boston. $9.81 a pack. Damn it.
Yeah, and that's why, and it's unfortunate. I went to smoking these things, these Tampa Sweet cigars. You get a 5-pack. These things are you get two. There's 10. You get a pack, and they're like $4.90 some odd cents. And that's why I started smoking the cigars, because they're so much cheaper. And I mean, literally, I'll light up a cigar. Well, not during the chat because I pretty much smoke nonstop. But on a normal day, I maybe smoke 2.5 cigars a day, because you smoke it and then you put it out and you come back and get it later. But damn.
That's
Now,
because
can you smoke in that state-provided car that you live in the lap of luxury in?
Yep. Nobody else drives it, so I get away with it.
Man, that shit should be against the law.
Technically, it's against the policies.
You should give yourself a fucking ticket.
Tase yourself.
Citizens
Listen,
arrest.
now seriously, Blue.
Citizens arrest.
I think
You should beat your ass with a baton.
Can you legally tase yourself? Because you would get a lot of subscribers and hits doing that.
Oh yeah, all I'd have to do, if I did what they call the drive stun, where I didn't have to shoot the cartridge out, just
You do it now.
No,
Taser,
that shit hurts.
taser.
What about- Do
Taser.
you have any pepper spray?
Yes, I do. Right
Do
over.
they keep track of that? Do they serialize those cans of pepper spray, or do they just have a bunch of them laying around? Just go ahead and pepper spray yourself with.
Right there. I got pepper spray and everything else right over there.
Can you pepper spray yourself right now?
Fuck no. I would rather take a taser hit than pepper spray.
Taser's all wrong. Pepper spray stays.
Wide-eyed open, man, right in the face. Good God Almighty! Oh,
I'll tell you what, though, I've been hit so many times with pepper spray. I remember the first time I went through the certification to get it. I was so fucking amped up that I literally felt like I was gonna pass out. I was like, God, it's gonna hurt. God, it's gonna fuck. And I just stood there and I waited for the guy to fucking hit me, and he did an X right in front of my face. And whenever they do it, your eyes are shut, because if your eyes are open and they're too close, it can actually cause damage to your eyes, because it like embeds itself in your eyes.
it'll burn.
They always tell us to close it. So I closed my eyes, and they hit me with that pepper spray, and I opened them, and we had to take a foam, like a pull, those pull foam things, those, I don't know what the hell you call them. But they cut them down to like 3 feet to simulate a baton.
They're called noodles.
That's it, a noodle. That's it. It's so simple. But we had those, and I opened my eyes, and I went over and I fucking beat the shit out of this guy with this noodle. I'm like, bam, 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 and he fell on the ground. I got him in cuffs, and I got him the whole way to the car, put him in the car, and I'm just standing there, and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for the effect to hit, and the instructor is looking at me like, is that not affecting you? He's like, I hit you straight in the face. You should be on the ground right now. But I had myself so amped up that it didn't affect me throughout that whole drill, which probably lasted 2 minutes, until I'm standing there. And he's like, well, go wash your face off. And I went into the garage, the eye water station. As soon as I shut my eyes, game fucking over. Because it's not, if you, I mean, I'm probably going to fuck myself with this, but if I actually run into anybody that watches these chats in my area, if you can keep your eyes open after you get hit with pepper spray, you're good. You're not going to feel that immediate eye burn. But as soon as you shut your eyes, that's when the membranes on the inside of your eyelids that feel pain. And that's when your eyeballs lock shut.
You should really rub your eyes as hard as you possibly can as well.
Yeah.
That does wonders. Makes the pain go right away.
Yeah, no. But after that, it was, oh man, I was a fucking little baby after it was all over with. It was like, fucking, oh my God. And then like you think that it's over, because like after 45 minutes or so, the burning goes away, until you go home and you take a shower and all that shit runs down in your face again, and your ass crack and everywhere else. That's when it really gets you.
Ass crack. Nice.
Oh,
I had never been pepper spray. I've been tear gassed a lot being in the military. I know one little quick funny story. We was at some training thing down in Fort Benning. Yeah. And they had like a little whatever stage or something. Anyway, Guy was giving us instructions on whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember. But anyway, we was there for, chemical, blah, 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 too. So we had gas mask on. I mean, on our sides. But being in the CBs was a construction battalion. I think I had a hard hat on. Maybe I had a Kevlar hat, but I don't know. Anyhow, I had a helmet on. And anyway, the asshole fucking whatever, whoever it was, platoon leaders or whoever it was, it was part of it, but they popped a couple of canisters of tear gas and was in a crowd, threw them in the middle of the fucking crowd. Boom, boom, boom. So, it's like a test. Get your fucking gas mask off, knock the helmet off, put the gas mask on. That all settled down. It was around lunchtime. And after I all settled down, grabbed my helmet, went back, sat down, ate MRE and all that. And after lunch, I grabbed that helmet. And the whole time, I had it, upside down. So it had collected that fucking tear gas in it. Here it is, an hour later, I put that helmet on. Boom. I just felt it come down my face. And it's like, son, I was already had a runny nose and all this shit already, and it just got hit again. It's like, fuck.
I was part of the guys who took care of the CS chamber and literally could walk around in there without a gas mask on. And we used to have fun with this shit, man. We did like designate us to run around and CS people. But I was part of the TOC where they have the guys running the whole operation and everything, and then I was the battalion NCO, and I'm sitting there, and I left my protective mask in my vehicle, and I was inside the big old what do you call those MG-11 tents or whatever, I can't remember the name of the thing, but all of a sudden I heard this. And I just looked at one of my enlisted guys. I said, shit. And I looked over, and there was this gas mask sitting there, and no one had anybody's name on it. And I grabbed it, and I took it, and I donned it, put it on, and I laughed. It was our company commanders. And I was sitting there I was like, I'm just going to walk over here to my vehicle. And he's running around going, where's my gas mask? I was laughing. I said, hey, sir, it's right here. Here, I found it. He's like, you're the best, Malawi. You're just awesome. Thanks, sir. And I appreciate it. I was like, not a problem, sir. Not a problem here. You guys would go ahead and clear that thing, man. Let's get you some water, sir. That looks bad. It was one of the funniest fucking things ever. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I was laughing my ass off, man.
We had one time where the chief, he's like, man, I got a shit, and he went into the shitter, and the bathroom door has a gap at the bottom, probably about 1.5 inches or so. And I took my pepper spray out, and I'm like, fucking shake it up. I start squirting it underneath the fucking door. I fucking lit him up. And he never made a noise in there, and he never made a noise when he came out, but he came out relatively quickly, which is, it's shocking. Usually he's in there for, 15 minutes or so. He never made a peep. So I was like, fuck, maybe he didn't feel it. Maybe he didn't do nothing. Well, he fucking pulled out his taser and started fucking lighting me up. Oh my. You motherfucker. I'm up against a corner, and he's drilling me with this goddamn taser. And I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, he felt it.
We had some fun. We were down at Camp Lejeune. We were working with the 2nd Recon guys out on Onslow Beach. And I was hanging out with this E8, and we called him Ranger Brown because he didn't give a shit. He was a master sergeant. They don't have a real job. They just have fun. So, and my mother and father had a place down on Topsail Island, which is literally right across the bridge. So we go down there and have drinks with mom and dad and come back and hang out. But we had a whole case of grenade simulators. And our thing for 2 weeks was to go around and find the porta-johns that the Marines had stationed all over Lejeune. And we were blowing them up.
Oh, I know. It's been going for a while.
Hey, man, Jarheads, watch this shit, man. And you throw a grenade simulator in a cooked porta-john's been sitting out there full of shit for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it would just boom, it blew right up in half. It was funnier than hell. That's what we used to do in the old days, you young punks. I mean, young cherries will reach.
I probably have a few funny stories, but probably the funny story I got is I was a radio guy for my commanding officer, and we were running these Bradley fighting vehicles for the first year. We were doing a transition from M113s to Bradley fighting vehicles, and the whole inside and the turret and everything is different. And I forget what it was. I was standing there in the turret, or no, I was up in the driver's hatch, and no, oh man, I'm getting confused now. Anyway, my commanding officer of the whole company was the track commander, and he got his gear hooked on something, and he looked at me like it was a really helpless little puppy, you know, like he was hooked on something. There's only so much space in them things, right? You're going one direction, you get hooked on something, you can't move, you can't turn around, you can't unfuck yourself. He looked me straight in the eye, and I was like, what? You know, like what the hell? What do you want? You know? And he was like, D, unfuck me, unfuck my shit, you know? and he was like, I can't, I'm done here, I can't do nothing, you know? And it was so funny because I had to like reach over him and like almost like hug him to unfuck his shit. And it was kind of funny, but anyway, you spend a couple weeks in the field with a bunch of dudes. There's a ton of funny stories.
No, God. I was a M113 driver at one time, and I was the G2 or the battalion executive officer was I was his driver, and we had a couple NCOs. I was a young little E4 at the time, and we had these one NCO. He was from New Jersey. His name was Prince, and we stopped on the side of this riverbank on this damn M113 one time. He looked down and he goes, man, look at those deer tracks. And they were coon tracks. We just started fucking with him, calling them, it's a coon deer. But anyway, in an M113, they had the hatches in the back that would open up. So, you know, you could just, everybody could stand up and, you know, you could fire, support, or whatever. So
yeah, the big, massive hatch, yeah.
Yeah. So he's sitting, the battalion executive officer sitting right behind me, and I'm just driving, you know, got my head right out here, just having a good old time. And those things were so much fun. I never got to drive a Bradley, but all of a sudden I said, hey, sir, check this out, man. It was this, we were getting ready to cross the stream, and I said, or it was, we were out at Fort Bragg, and there was this water probably been stagnant forever. And I said, what do you want to do? He goes, let's flood it. I said, you got it. And I pumped some bitch up, and we rolled it, and it caused a wave to go straight up and over. And here's this Sergeant Prince back there, and he's reading maps and shit. And all of a sudden, 3,000 gallons of water just came straight down on top of him, man. And my XO, he made sure that I was doing something other than cleaning that vehicle for 3 days afterwards. It was funny as shit. But Prince had to clean the whole damn thing. He was such a shithead. We just couldn't wait to get rid of that dumbass. But had a good
I was an M113 driver. Every year I got a new job. I was a driver for my commanding officer. So if he wasn't in the track, I had to drive his Humvee, and we were driving down this road, this fucking country road, going somewhere, and he looked. I had the pedal to the floor. I was fucking going wide open. Them fucking Humvees, man, when you're on blacktop, they float. You know, they don't really go so good when you're wide open. And he looked over at me. He's like, how fast will this thing go? And I'm like, I looked back at him. I'm like, well, fuck, how fast are we going now? You know, because I had that sumbitch stomped to the floor. You know, and I don't, dude, there's no speedometer on them fucking things, you know, he's just wide open. And anyway, I think the reason he kept me around is no matter, even if it was serious or fun, you know, I always had fun, whatever I was doing, you know. And anyway, it got me in trouble a couple times, but I mean, what are you going to do, right?
I'll never forget one of my, I actually friended one of my company commanders was a West Point graduate. I just friended him on Facebook the other day. He tried to get me into prep school for West Point, and I was just like, he goes, "Hey, Lally, what was your SAT score?" And I just said, "You don't want to know." Not good enough. 3 digits, and that was combined.
Yeah, mine was like 7 something. I was a fucking idiot when it came to that shit.
I think 75, something along in there.
Yeah, I don't. Me in school, we don't really do that shit. I don't really do school.
Well, you know, I've got a genius IQ. I just can't test well. That's my excuse.
I don't make excuses. I just don't fuck with them.
There was an M728. There it is. Oh man, we used to have the. I had an MLRS fire right over top of my head. I used to have direct control over my own A10s, but had a bunch of those fire right over me. What was the biggest one I ever had was we had a firing position set up, and I was running from that was my command point. And had an MLRS pull up, and all of a sudden I saw he activated his damn tubes, and he elevated that shit up, and I said, "Oh fuck, get out!" And it launched all whatever rockets that son of a bitch carried. Man, it was the loudest damn experience I've ever seen in my life. I got up out of the hole after they lit them up, and I just walked right up and started beating the shit out of it. Track commander got out. He was like, "What? Oh my God! We didn't even see you." And I said, "No shit, Sherlock."
My favorite job in the National Guard was Bradley Gunner. Sitting in that gunner seat with all those controls and looking through that, the optics.
Yeah,
unreal.
Forward-looking infrared and all the other cool shit and magnified optics. You could pinpoint anything with that son of a bitch, couldn't you?
Yep, and the turret ran on gyros, so you could be running 30 miles an hour and you could lock on a target, and that bitch you wouldn't even. I mean, your body's doing this, but that fucking thing's locked on. It's amazing.
Hey, you guys want to go a few more minutes, or you want to end it? The reason I asked, Duke Power just pulled up.
All right,
and I need to go talk to him. So
yeah.
I need to end this or just let y'all chit chat some more.
No, I gotta go to bed, man.
Go ahead and shut it down, man. We don't need to do no outros either. Just go to black. Fuck it. Just lock it down.
Man. Well, thanks everybody for coming by. I think everybody knows who's on the panel, and we're going to end this because I got to go deal with Duke Power. It's been 2 hours anyway. So,
thanks, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Good luck. Good night.
Rob.
Later, brothers.
Later.